Get ready guys, because Wuchang Fallen Feathers is literally coming in a matter of days. Maybe by the time you're actually watching this video, the game may already be out in a couple of days, right? So the thing which is crazy is that this game is actually going on the charts right now, is going places, and right now is number 28 of the most sold games on Steam. And the game has a following of 145,000 people. That's very commendable, coming from a studio who this is like their first, I think their first ever game. And not just that, this is a Souls-like game, which they are very hard to make. And of course, you know, some people are skeptical. That's why many people are not pre-ordering the game so far. They want to see the reviews, they want to see, you know, how it plays. So of course, after we see the reviews on Metacritic, I'm sure more people will pre-order it. And then when the game releases after 1 or 2 days, even more people may join, because, you know, it happens, right? People are skeptical. They want to see how, especially from a new studio, how a game plays. But Wuchang Fallen Feathers, guys, is going to be, I have a feeling, one of those games where the main protagonist and the environments and the story, it just looks so appealing, to be honest. And this is something quite exciting. This is some of the things that I believe, you know, you should really look into this game, man, because it's just crazy. First, it's a very dark, mythic world steeped in quite a lot of history and horror. You are going to the land as Shu, which is during the land of Shu, which is during the chaotic and final years of the Ming Dynasty, a time where obviously we had warring factions, political corruption, and a fantastical, or kind of like mythological plague, which is known as the feathering disease. This affliction transforms humans into these monsters, right, which kind of gives way to the game's monsters and stuff like that, and bosses, right, with superpowers, creating a world where beauty and horror are kind of colliding constantly. The game's setting is a masterful blend of historical authenticity and dark fantasy, which I really like. It's drawing from inspirations from ancient Shu societies and also classic Chinese literature, such as the Classic of Mountains and Seas, for example. Now, the main protagonist, Bei Wuchang, a fierce, enigmatic pirate. This is really interesting because the game starts off with the protagonist. She's very attractive, so the game is unapologetic. They don't care about, you know, being inclusive, having inclusive body stuff, right? It's literally like you have a typical protagonist made by Asian developers. Asian developers, remember, queer culture does not exist in China, so they don't care about queer culture. And they just want to make a good game, this is the thing why many gamers are being pushed towards Asian games, is that their games don't have these constant aggressive political messagings, and you guys know exactly what I am talking about. Yes, the ever-present virtual signaling, which is present in many games. I mean, we've seen other games produced and released by AAA Western companies in 2024, and many of them, guess what happened? They flopped. Now, that may not be the only reason, because they were quite woke. Obviously, there were other reasons at hand, as you can imagine, but that was one of the reasons. Like, that was genuinely one of the reasons. Even if The Economist and Jason Schreier will never recognize that. Of course, he will not, because he is part of the woke establishment. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, let's just think of our heads for a second, right? The press, the journalists, like, they're all into this. Like, they love pushing the agenda. So Bei Wuchang is a powerful warrior, effectively, right, which has also really nice designs. The combat is very, badass. She's very feminine, very fierce. It's just crazy because it just looks so good. Like, they actually inspire themselves, and they said that themselves, right? The developer said they took inspiration in some instances from Stellar Blade, because they saw that, people liked the game and they wanted to make the character even more attractive, make it more nicer, because they saw that that is actually selling. Surprise, surprise. If you make a game with an attractive character, the game is going to sell, of course, if the other aspects of the game are good. If the other aspects of the game are bad and is breaking and lagging and stuff, of course it will not sell. But that's common sense again. But having an attractive, appealing character helps you even more. Now, Wuchang Fallen Feather stands out by staying true to its cultural roots, which I really appreciate, weaving a narrative that's deeply personal to the Chinese developers. The story is grounded in the historical turmoil of the Ming Dynasty, featuring real figures, right, in history, and foreign missionaries, and even like people, like realistic people, right? And it's elevated by supernatural elements to make it more appealing. Obviously, it's a Souls game, right? It can't be just boring, realistic. That trace back to the legendary era of the King Duo of Shu. This isn't a game that shies away from its heritage, it embraces it, delivering a world that feels authentic and immersive without pandering to external pressure. Unlike some Western titles criticized for heavy-handed messaging, Wuchang focuses on storytelling, level design, and gameplay over preaching. Social media discussions, particularly on Reddit, highlight its appeal as a game that prioritizes fun and cultural authenticity over woke narratives, which fans celebrating his refusal to cater to the loud minority which demands sanitized, corporate-safe stories, which all of us are quite bored of, to be honest. Instead, it offers a dark, gritty tale of identity, survival, and transformation, which quite resonates universally, to be honest. Your journey as Bei Wuchang is yours to shape as well. The game's deep RPG mechanics, which apparently have a massive, huge skill system similar to Diablo. I've seen some videos, some people have said who tried the game, not as big, but quite big. The mechanics: you can build your build with a variety of outfits, weapons, accessories, and spell loadouts, each with unique stats that impact gameplay. Want to prioritize style? Equip a flowing robe that boosts agility but sacrifice defense, for example. Prefer raw power? Wield a great axe for devastating blocks. You can just go as you wish. The feathering system adds another layer, letting you sacrifice red mercury to unlock new skills, from offensive spells to supportive buffs, ensuring no two playthroughs are actually the same. We have more. Obviously, the game is built with Unreal Engine 5, so many people are obviously concerned with potential stutter. It's all about how they polish and optimize the game. Very, very, very important. I think you guys remember when people played Black Myth Wukong. That game was also built with Unreal Engine, and it was pretty good. It was really smooth. Obviously, you needed a decent PC, obviously, right? But in my case, I have a 380, and it went pretty well. With the 380 in Black Myth Wukong, I had no problem whatsoever, and this game looks to be pretty optimized. If it's a 380 or 390, you can play the game in quite high graphics. You don't need a 480 or 490 or even a 550. You don't need that, right? That's the thing. You don't need that crazy stuff. So the final summary: why is it a must play, and why is it so cool, right? Because people are liking it, and I believe this game is going to do well. Wuchang Fallen Feathers is more than just another Souls-like. It's bold, it's culturally rich adventure that dares to be different. Its stunning protagonist, Bei Wuchang, is a refreshing take on a strong female character, designed with style and substance that appeals to gamers who want characters that look good and also kick-ass, without being watered down by forced agendas. The game's focus on fluid, rewarding combat, deep customization, and a mythic narrative rooted in the Chinese history makes they stand out in a crowded genre. At also $49.99 for the base game and $59.99 for the deluxe edition, it's pretty much a steal compared to games which are $70 or $80 and are shorter. Obviously, this game, if you finish it and then do the New Game Plus, which is a must for Souls-like games, you could be easily looking at maybe 60 to 80 hours of content for $50. That's pretty damn good, right? And also you can play it on Game Pass day one, risk-free, almost for free, right? You have the Game Pass ready, you can just play it at no extra cost. Again, that's pretty crazy. So the Wuchang Fallen Feathers game, honestly guys, it looks to me that it's going to be a very interesting game. It looks pretty nice, and also people's interest is growing by the day. The developers are really transparent. They publish lots of videos online on gameplay. They respond to the comments. They're really hyped about the game, and I personally believe that we're on to a very good start. Now, the game may have some issues, of course, but remember, Look at the recent AAA games done by Western companies. Most of them were pretty bad. They were released in a really poor state, like stuttering issues, graphics glitches, like it was just crazy, right? So if this game performs well and of course has some small issues, you can forgive it because the developers are going to update it, obviously, right? They want to have a good launch. So, I wouldn't be that worried about the optimization as much. Obviously, if you have a bad graphics card or like a weak one, right, like a GTX quite old one, I would say be aware the game may not work on your PC, obviously, because you have a weaker PC. So get it on a console potentially, right? But wait for the reviews if you are unsure. I mean, the game, honestly, from my point of view, looks pretty nice, pretty amazing, and yeah, it's one of these games which I've just seen them myself personally, and just after watching some gameplays and some YouTubers playing it and stuff, and there were like different special events and Summer Game Fest and stuff, it just looks quite appealing. Like from my point of view, the game looks like to be a very strong contender to one of the best games of 2025. Obviously not as great as, I don't know, Death Stranding 2, because it doesn't have the budget of Death Stranding 2. I mean, come on guys, I mean, you can't really compare, right? I mean, we're looking at completely different budgets here, right? Or Elden Ring, I mean, you just cannot compare that. But these guys, their first game, it looks pretty damn awesome. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one.